Every day when I wake up trying to see your face, it could only have been you, no one in your place. Sometimes I feel it deep, so it's hard to say, but not today.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Our Married Life podcast. I go by the name of Joshua.
And my name's Chi Chi.
And this is season 1, episode 5. Woo! This is about finances. So
my favourite topic.
We're going to discuss. So I've got question number 1. So question is, what was the process of joining finances and building together?
I don't know why I feel so happy already this episode, because I like money. I like finance. I like anything to do with this type of topic. So I'm ready. Ask me again. Let me get in my bag.
What was the process of joining finances and building together?
Right. So I will say I feel like I was more switched on about the finances earlier on in our relationship, because when I was still living at my parents' house, I had said, we had just met. I remember this as clear as day. We had just met, and I think we were 3 months in. Maybe not even 3 months, maybe a bit earlier than that. And I said, look, like, I want to buy a house and I'm saving for it. So obviously now we're in a relationship. I don't know what that means for us, and what do you think? And you were like, yeah, I hear it, do your thing. Like, obviously it's kind of early and stuff like that, so just do your thing. So I was like, okay. And I kind of felt like, I didn't feel type of way because it was obviously early on. So I just had the mindset like, I'm just going to do my thing, whatever in it. So regardless, like, I'm going to do me. That was my thought process at the time. But later on, maybe the Holy Spirit convicted me, I don't know, a couple months later, I think we were maybe like 5... Wait, your birthday's in March. So was it after your birthday? It must have been. I can't remember. But it was around that kind of April. It was getting to summertime. We had been together maybe like, it was early, maybe 6 months, maybe 7 months, not even that. But I was like, look, like, I think this is going to be important, because if we are saying that we want to be together forever, at that point, like, obviously I wasn't, engaged or anything, but we had spoken about where we thought our journey was going to take us. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, I'm trying to get married in, year 3. I'm not trying to be out here So I think we had already, not formally agreed, but we had a sort of timeline. You would never say, yeah, I'm going to propose at so-and-so time. But you were like, I've heard you when you say, what the timeline is. You were kind of coy about it. So I was like, well, we need to kind of pattern this sooner rather than later, because we have X amount of time before this time. So if we start early, the cost is going to become more manageable, as opposed to us like doing it retrospectively. So we started the Love Fund, which was what we called it, which eventually grew into like our home fund and the wedding fund. But it was just the Love Fund, like, which was just for us to be able to do things associated with marriage, home. And we hit our goal, a while before we bought this place, which was great. And I remember we had, a couple of disagreements about the Love Fund. Some, intense fellowship about the Love about the Love Fund. But it was definitely a process. Like, I have a way I see finances. I spend more money, but I think I also have like a different kind of like, more like audacious, like long-term view with it. I'd say you're you're better with managing money than me, I think, in the day-to-day. But I'm more like, okay, if we need to do this, then to get here, let's do this, this, and this. That's kind of how I think our yin. Is it yang and yin or yin and yang?
Yin and yang. Yang and yin.
In terms of a yang and yin.
It's Nigeria version. Yang and yin.
Yin and yang.
Yang and yin. Oh my days.
That's how I think well, we're here now, isn't it? Yang and yin goes personally. You know, that's what I think. But obviously,
Yeah.
I think something different.
No, I agree. I think, well, to stick to the question, I know we've got some more questions. I don't want to share too much and just go into the questions. But positive journey finances, I think, there's a point in our relationship when I knew you said you wanted to buy a house. I just moved to London. I hadn't just moved to London, but I kind of had money wasn't a lot at that time period. Just managing it, do my best to manage it. Still try and take dates, but just manage it the best I could. And you got to a certain point in the relationship where you wanted to start saving together for like future house purchase. And to be honest, I know people ask me about this. I always credit you because you had the vision. That's why sometimes it's important to listen to your wives or your future significant others. They might see something beyond, and if you still have that, or if you're operating completely from this like ego place, then you might not be able to hear that the Lord can speak to your significant other as well and speak through them. So in that moment, there was like a further time where we were discussing like, let's start putting money together, let's start saving together. And initially I was like, I wasn't big on saving, which is kind of ridiculous to say, isn't it? I wasn't. But a lot of guys are not big on saving, man. A lot of guys are here for a good time, not a long time. You know,
which is so crazy. I'm so
not necessarily. It's not crazy.
I'm sorry to interject.
No,
babe,
it's not. Okay, go on. You interject.
I have to interject. Like, it's so crazy to me that guys are not big on saving. Like, or a lot of guys are not, because like when you try to discuss finances with some like guys, you're just like, you ain't got a clue, bruv. Like,
the thing is,
and you're supposed to lead a family one day. This is
don't do that.
Mad.
Don't do that.
Don't do what?
The reason I say don't do that is because the order has been put in. My understanding, the order has been put in place by God. So there is a positioning in terms of the man leading the household. Yes. Do you agree on that?
What are you talking about, Willis?
Is the order of the marriage, the man leading the household, is that... No, let me ask you a question.
It's giving apples and oranges.
I'm going to somewhere, but let me ask you a question.
Get there
Is the order of marriage the man leading the household?
Yeah.
Okay. So in that instance, what the Lord is, my understanding, the Lord has positioned is a certain positioning that the people have to grow into. It's not just something that you just have the complete understanding of from rip.
No one said that though.
Let me finish. So you said, oh, you're supposed to be leading the household. That's why I came against that, because I was like, that's not the point. It's like, it's a positioning, and then understand that positioning, they grow. Like, it's not necessarily just like, this is what you do, oh, boom, you know everything already. It's like you grow. Like me personally, I've grown in terms of understanding and especially in these senses of leadership and so forth and da-da-da-da. So
yeah, but that's not what I was saying, because that's fine, but how are you gonna be out here looking for a wife with no savings? That don't make no type of sense. Like,
yeah, no, I hear that, to be fair.
Because at the end of the day, like, there's love and there's provision. That these, like, it's just the facts, and people like to move away from the facts. It might sound harsh, whatever, but I'm not going to British Gas with my love for you for the light bill. That ain't it. Like, that's not what's happening.
Yeah, but that's not the point though.
Or Waitrose and buying a load of shopping and telling them to take our love. No,
that's not the point. Not to interject. I'm saying a different point, because the positioning is different to the actualization of it. So from my understanding of it, from where I'm understanding it so forth, like, so let's say someone wants to get married and they feel a call in the heart for the Lord to get married. When we were dating, I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't have a lot of money. I was living away from home. I moved away from home and earning super loads, and the Lord was just sustaining me. I didn't have a lot of money.
And what was
Let me
my
finish.
position about that?
You were at yard, not paying no rent. You were taking all your money in. You were getting shopping bags delivered to your yard every day, boxes, packages, and so
She
forth.
still does, big parent.
So that was our situation. Our financial situations were different, and I'm just
That's
wary
not
of.
why our financial
I finish?
situations are different. But
Can I
let's not
finish?
spill all the tea. No.
That's not why our financial situations are different.
Yes, because you just said that you didn't even have a mindset of saving.
Yes,
just
because
there are bare people
no,
living
let
at
me-
yards
let me
who
finish,
have
let
no
me finish.
savings. You know.
Yes, but I was earning just enough to get by.
Yeah, but
So you can't save when you're earning just enough to get by.
Okay, but you said your mindset. It's not that you said, "Oh, I couldn't save." You said you weren't like watching it like that.
Yeah. So
they're
so
two
wait.
different things.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, and I'll go back to my point in terms of, as I said, I always credit you in that period. You worked stay together. My concern was, and when I spoke to people, was like, oh, it's too early on to get saving together and to stop putting money together. Like we could save money separately on one side and so forth. But after having that discussion with you and just processing it for a while and like praying about it and feeling like, okay, is this the... Well, I did believe you're the person from when initially on anyway. So I was like, okay, cool. Let's start saving money together. And I think the moment when it kind of clicked for me was when I think we reached a certain amount in the love fund, like a few grand or something like that. And I was like, wow, like this is actually, we're saving and this is actually really growing. So yeah, as I said, I always attribute it to you in terms of your vision and kind of pushing that point through. And then here we are in our yard that we managed to purchase after having the wedding that we dreamed of, I guess.
Yeah, but I feel something's not sitting right with me.
Go on.
I just think that it's important to like make the point, because what a lot of people try to say when women talk about these things is as though, oh, people just like to discuss money. Women are just out here trying to buy Birkins, trying to buy Louis V. But it's not that. It's like, personally, in terms of like, you might not even meet him at that point. Like, I didn't meet you at that point, and we still manage finances together. But it's important, if you're gonna bring like, sometimes men don't understand what they're asking women to do. You're leaving your home and you're taking this man's name, you're coming under his leadership, as you like to say, by God's design. And so therefore it's like, there's a security. I have to leave what I know. I have to leave, you know, in theory and in practice, what is secure for me. You know, I have to give you this position. I have to do that. And for you not to have a plan for me, how you're going to look after me financially, how I'm going to be protected, where we're going to live, where we're going to go, that's crazy. So it's even whether you want to grow into it or not. I just think at a certain, like, I just think if you're going to ask that of somebody, you're saying, I want you to come alongside me in this journey. You have to understand what you're asking that person and put things in place. Like if you're having a baby, like a baby don't just arrive with no cot, no bottles. It's like,
Sometimes it does. Some people don't plan.
And people out here talk about, oh yeah, I'm gonna grow into the role. Like,
No,
okay,
no,
but
because
you
no,
knew the
no,
like I'm
no,
not gonna
because
hold you.
you're conflating two different points.
No, she's not.
You're conflating
No,
two
she's
different.
not.
You say no, she. Not it's you. That's not the right pronoun.
If
The
I speak,
situation,
you'll
no,
sound
the situation is, and what I'm wary of is like, 'cause sometimes people can say, oh, I need to get this right, I need to have this right, I need to have this right before I meet someone, and da 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 da. Okay, so in situations of love, we know that you can't just plan it, right? We know that, don't we? Mm-hmm. We know that you meet someone, and more often than not, it's when you don't expect it.
Yeah.
Okay, so in that situation,
So what about it?
what I don't want for a man to take, and what I think that sometimes can happen is, yes, I agree with everything you're saying. It's important to have a plan, it's important to have finances and so forth, and da 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 da. But I also think that we've seen a generation of our parents where they got married and had minimal P's. Can I finish?
Okay, go on.
They had minimal P's. They had minimal P's. There are people doing it at registry and so forth, and da 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 da. For me, finances is a big piece. It's very important and so forth. But I think the level above that is following the Lord's will, if you're with someone, you meet someone and you're praying about it and so forth, and that's the person for you, discussing it, make sure you're on the same page, getting married and building. You're always going to be building. Not finished. They're always going to be building. You're always going to be building. You're going to come at it from different financial situations, different places, so forth. But the important point, the important overarching point from my perspective is the marriage, making sure you're on the same page, understanding the plan and goals. You're now two people being on a team. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And in my opinion, I think sometimes what can happen is people can be waiting for like the perfect, I need to be at this amount, I need to be at this, and so forth, I need to be there, and so forth. And it's like, okay, on one hand, yes, but on the other hand, sometimes, like, do the thing and build together. Do the thing and build together, that's my perspective. But I spent a lot of time on question one. That's fine.
I don't agree.
We don't have to agree.
You're misrepresenting what I'm saying, though.
Again, but I just said we were conflating two different points. However, wait.
Misrepresentation of what I just said.
I don't.
And I feel like I have to advocate for the ladies.
I don't think so. Wait. I'm not against that. But we are short. We're not short on time. But we do need to move to the next
question. Let us know in the comments if you want us to finish this discussion, because
we
I
won't
feel
be
triggered.
This discussion, but
so
let's go. Question 2.
Does it matter if the woman earns more than the man?
Yes, it matters. Women should never earn more than a man. Man, never let your woman earn more than you.
You're going to get cancelled.
No, for me personally, it doesn't matter. I think that, again, there's no one rule, one size fits all, from my perspective. And this isn't marriage advice. Don't take this to a therapist. I'm not a trained counsellor. It's my perspective. I don't think it matters. I think there are other bits that matter that can be impacted by that. So as I said before, in terms of positioning and roles in marriage. If someone's having certain leadership, masculine energy because they're bringing in the fees. They're trying to bring in the fees and they're trying to take a da-da-da-da-da. Not that that's happening here, but I've seen certain situations where that can occur and so forth. Let's say the guy's just... But to be fair, why would a woman is making loads of money get with a guy who's slumming around anyway? There's one reason.
Okay, relax. You gotta relax.
Anyways, my point is that for me personally, it doesn't matter in the sense of, but as long as the orders and positionings and your position are going right, because the one thing is, it's gonna fluctuate. It's going to fluctuate. You're not going to be earning the same amount for the rest of your life. Like someone might be earning something. You're going to grow in your career as long as both people are dedicated to growing and also following the voice of the Lord, heeding his guidance and wisdom. I think you're both going to grow. It's going to fluctuate. So I don't think it should be important in that sense. Oh, she earns more than me, so da-da-da-da-da. I don't think so personally. But your view.
I think it does, because how can I put it? It matters for for me. It matters for a variety of reasons. But as you say, every relationship is different. So some relationships, they're in similar careers, so different years. Someone might bring in more. Someone might have like a sales role. Someone might have like a project-based role. This sounded like I was talking about us.
No, I'm not.
But I'm saying like a project in terms of like they're on contracts was the word I'm looking for. So they're on contracts for a couple of months. They earn a lot, and then they might have like a period where they earn nothing. So it depends. But I think, as I was saying, like the mindset of provision for men is important. So you might have a woman who earns more. No, it's not.
Because I said about positionings and roles. That's what I said. I said you can earn more.
You cut me off.
Not to interject.
But you interjected though.
Not to interject.
But you interjected.
The positioning and roles is what I'm discussing. But carry on. Yeah,
but you tried to say earlier, about the Lord's positioning and stuff like that.
No, I didn't say the Lord's positioning. But go on.
Yeah, but you did, because you said, I believe we walk with the Lord and God has put in a certain positioning where the man...
Yeah, I think that's the way marriage has been designed.
I feel you. I'm saying. Okay, but I also believe that there was a garden God put Adam in it, and He gave him employment.
Yeah.
So he
No,
was.
I agree.
So
I agree.
don't be out here.
I agree.
Don't be out here.
Yes, Queen. I agree. I actually agree. I don't think you should be. Okay, let me make a disclaimer because
some people
if you've been misunderstood.
Yeah, I have been
No,
misunderstood.
not you. If I've been misunderstood, I'm not saying get married without a job. Don't do that. There's no point.
You wanna
Don't
talk
put
about,
yourself in distress.
Why is the
Just
positioning
remain
different?
single, man. Just remain single. You don't want this stress of nobody coming in. Don't
some
do
man
it.
will be out here on the roof talking about this woman you gave
In terms
me.
of a nagging wife.
Bruv,
Nah, don't do
if I
it. Don't
speak-
do it. Definitely have a job. Definitely have income coming in. Definitely have a growth plan, like a growth mindset in terms of.
Correct.
But-
Don't be out here misleading these men talking about
Nah,
yeah.
but I feel okay. If I come across, I thought it's a basic understanding, but
No,
my
it's
bad. Apologies.
in
So,
2023.
but then I think we also come from different circles, though, isn't it? So like,
Don't try it. Don't even try it. Like, you're actually trying it. Don't- you're actually trying it. And
in my circle, innit, the man never all say, innit, I don't know. Anyways.
You're lucky we're on air. Okay?
Anyways,
Because-
so
let me start throwing
finish your
shots.
point, finish
'cause
your
people
point,
start
finish your point.
crying. My point is, as
All man them earn money, though. Wait, finish your point.
I
Sorry.
guess.
Go on.
I guess, as I was saying previously, what I believe is that don't be out here misleading these kings, talking about, oh yeah, it's the position, this, but but there are very real practicalities that come with this.
No,
because
100%,
women
100%.
value security.
Yep,
I understand we're in 2023, we make our own money, I make my own peas, do you know what I mean? I'm not a kept woman. But why
did you do that? That's are you beatboxing?
no,
Just giving
that's I had
beatboxes.
to pause. I'm not a kept woman. I don't have a desire to be, but
Why are you bringing it up then?
it would be nice
So that's having a desire.
to take a little 2
I don't
months.
have a desire to be this thing that I bring up all the time. Does that make any
I
sense?
just want to take 2 months off. Do you know what I mean? Can I get a little 2 months? Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But, but women value that. And I think that's important to understand. It's not about the Louis V's, the Gucci's, although that's good as well. But it's not about that. There are a lot of women who are happy to build with a guy. However, he should have employment, he should have a vision, and he should get on his grizzly. Like, because
I agree,
women
I
want to
agree.
live a good life. What woman wants to be out here, metaphorically, in a tent? Do you know what I mean? Like, no sofa, just chairs. Talk about, oh yeah, babe, we're gonna make it. That's cool, but let me see you on your grizzly. Do you know what I mean? Like, no one wants to be doing that for too long. And I think the message within a lot of things has just been lost. And I think that's important. Like, women value provision. So in summary, it doesn't really matter overall if the woman earns more, but if your man understands, I want to provide for my wife, and this is not advice because we're very early in, but this is just my opinion. If he's like, I want to provide, and I believe that starts before getting married, because marriage is literally, people think the wedding is some event that all of a sudden, like, you're transformed into a husband and wife. No, like, it's a growth journey, and we are, like, someone likened it to just being a 1-year-old baby, being 1 year married, because it's gonna grow, it's gonna change as it matures, as the marriage matures. But there are mindsets and things, understandings you can go into this with, in my opinion, that will probably set you in better stead than others, and
Yeah,
I
I
think
agree.
that's one of them. So
I agree.
again, it's not advice. I'm not qualified to give
This is not advice.
Yeah.
This is not marriage advice. This is just our views and our
Opinion.
married life so far. Maybe we should do this like concurrently.
What?
Like you do, like maybe do this, run this back, maybe like 2 years or something like that. I don't know. All right, question
Marvin's
3.
not going to allow us to have 2 years off.
you better start paying.
He's going to start cracking the whip.
All right, question 3.
Buying versus renting, which is better in long-term marriage and why?
Buying question done. All right, question 4.
And why?
Buying is better because you know what? Okay, first of all, disclaimer: if you're renting, that's fine. If that's what you can do, that's fine. If you can buy, that's fine. If that's what you can do, that's fine. Yeah. In this situation, this financial climate, you have to make it work with what you've got. And some situations don't allow for some people to move out certain positions. However, financially and financial advice-wise, people would advise.
This is not financial advice.
I know it's not financial advice, but financial advice-wise, people would advise buying and kind of getting onto the property ladder and getting a foot on, even if that's your little toe. Do not say it. You get your little toe on the ladder, then you get the fourth and the third and then the fourth. No, you get the fourth and the third, the second and the first toe. Some people's second toe is longer than the first toe. But get it on the chair.
Are you throwing shots?
No, I'm just saying it. You just get it on the ladder.
Are you actually trying to throw shots?
No, I'm just saying.
So why did you go that way?
If some people's second toe are longer than the first toe.
Why did you feel the need?
Oh my days. Why did I choose that flow?
Yeah.
Some people's second toe longer than the first toe. Anyways, just get on the ladder and then climb, and that's what they say, innit?
Well, that's what all the pretty girls have.
Ultimately, you want to own assets. Do you know what I'm saying? You want to own assets. And assets can pay you money. They can generate income for you. So ideally, you want to buy. And I think, again, I have to give my wife the credit. She was definitely pushing for us to buy. At one point, I just didn't see how it's going to be possible. And I think it kind of aligns with what you said about kind of having audacious financial visions. But God came through, man. And a lot of doors were open. The Lord opened for certain increases in finance and so forth. And we were able to buy our house and have the wedding we wanted as well. So again, ultimately, for me personally, is to walk with the Lord, pray, and consult Him in all decisions and so forth. But in a situation as well, I think buying is better for married life because you've got an asset. You're paying into an asset. You're paying off an asset as opposed to renting, which you're paying someone else and you're not kind of building value in something you own. That's my view on it. I'll pass over to the Finantic. Do you have anything to add?
Yes, I do actually. The reason I would like to springboard off your answer, if I may, love.
I hear it. Got you.
So this is why I think buying is better. Because as you say, you can almost look at it as another form of saving your money. Because what you've done is you've put your deposit into this asset. But now, okay, the money's, you've spent it, but it's still in something. It's kind of like, might call it some properties a SPV or something. It's still in a, it's just a special, SPV just means a special purpose vehicle. So this is just like you're putting money into a car, for example, and you're driving it. So you can, that's a bad analogy. You're putting money into something and it's just there. It's not gone anywhere. It seems like it's gone out of your bank account, but it hasn't gone anywhere. But it's still now building equity. This is a springboard because if you're renting, that money is left the building. Do you know what I mean? But here, it's still in something.
Nowhere to be seen, nowhere to be found, me gone.
Do you know what I mean? So here, it's still in something. So you can put it in, then you build equity, and then because it's still in there, you can once again pull it out. And therefore, you can then go and do something else with that money. Not just the money that you've put in originally, but additional money that you've built. And then you can do it again, you can do it again, you can do it again. And you can build wealth that way. So if you're trying to have a family, you've got a young family, for example, you want to do something else, you want to start a business, you might not necessarily want to buy another property. You might want to start a business. You might want to pull money out of your home to start a business. So you just have more options and more levers to pull if you have an asset. Now, homes that you live in are assets, but they could be considered as liabilities because an asset is something that is cash generating usually. So, if you're living in it, it is an asset in theory because you own it and it can be liquidated to produce cash. This is becoming a very long, very financially technical answer. Can be liquidated to produce cash, but what we want to focus on is something that's cash generative for you.
An asset.
No, because not all assets are cash generative. So some assets actually, you know, you own it, but it takes money away from you.
A liability.
It's a bit technical, but
A liability is definition. If you keep it at a base level, liability.
yeah,
is
but
money.
you might
Asset.
it doesn't make it a cash generative asset. A cash generative asset is something literally as simple as it can be, like a buy to let, because you own it and it gives you money at the end of it. So that's what you want to focus on. That's why it's a long-winded answer, but this is not financial advice.
Have you landed?
Yeah, but I told you I springboarded off your answer.
I know, but you springboarded and then you're in the air. So I'm like, okay, cool. What's the landing point?
You keep interrupting me. I was landing and you started talking about liabilities and mashed up the ting, bruv.
I don't know. Okay, okay, landed.
So as I was saying, the reason it's better is because when you get your first property, it allows you to build equity. It allows you to put money you've saved into a vehicle. Then you can pull that money back out again, start a business, buy another property. These are methods of building wealth. And you can do that again and again, and it allows you to have various levers to pull to generate cash and to subsequently generate wealth. So is that good enough landing for you?
Good. So to summarize, buying or renting for married couples, which is better?
I say buying, but okay. Some people say renting because you're not tied to anything. Some people do say renting because if you think about it, like if you have a large amount of money and you're renting your property, you're earning a lot, for example, you can go where you want, do what you like. You're not tied to anything. You have that freedom.
Yeah, but same as with a yard, like you can, it's just have the same thing, like.
Yeah, but we still, as homeowners, we still have different responsibilities. We're responsible for the home. We're responsible for the insurance in this place.
Yeah, but then like ultimately, it's just an amount of money that's coming out every month. Renting versus buying, it's an amount of money that's coming out every month.
I see it that way, but other people have different views.
Fair enough.
Which we have to account for.
I don't have to account for it.
We can only submit our opinions here.
I don't have to account for it. Those views are trash. All right. No, I'm just trolling.
You don't speak for me.
I don't speak for you.
No, because I don't believe their views are trash. I think they're entitled to their own opinions. Thank you very much.
Fair enough. All right, on to the final question. Question 4. How does the poor spending habits of one partner affect the other?
What?
I didn't say anything.
Why are you loud?
I didn't say anything.
You didn't have to,
Okay, so do you want to go first?
Yeah, because it's my question.
No, it's kind of to both of us, but yeah, go through.
So, I think, obviously, it depends what you think. It depends what you think is poor spending habits. Do you know what I mean? So, some people... Why are you humming?
I didn't say anything.
You're loud during my answer.
No, I'm not to interject.
But you're interjecting. Some people might think poor spending habits is a bag. I don't. Some people might think poor spending habits is a PS5. You know, some people might think poor spending habits is buying bottles at the bar. But people have different interests. Do you know what I'm saying? Go to Barcelona, for example. People...
I'm letting you finish, don't worry. You want to do that, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
No, I'm joking. I'm playing.
No, it's too late.
People have different...
That's fine.
People have different interests and their spending mirrors their interests. As long as you can pay your bills, save money, you know, you're not getting in mad debt or nothing, and you can put money towards the financial goals of your family, I think get your life. Do what you want. That's my personal opinion. So it would only affect the partner if it affects the home, if it affects, you know, shared goals that you guys have said, you know what, we're prioritizing these things, then it affects them. Or if you're getting into debt and like you're not paying your debts and stuff like that, then I think it's very bad. But that's my opinion. But I believe in a little Louis, little Gucci.
I hear it.
No, I was going to say little Balenci, but they're cancelled. So.
How do the poor spending habits? I think poor spending habits of one partner affect the other. I think if you guys agree on like kind of how you manage your money, you've got like the bills being paid and you've got tithes being paid, not paid, but like you're giving your money 10% to the Lord. The rest of the money, like, it's kind of on them, on the person and the partner, in my opinion, and how they want to spend it. So ultimately, it's not necessarily even poor spending habits, because it's only a poor spending habit if you've not got those base things covered, like the savings, the this and that. I think definitely the space of autonomy and freedom. It's like, it's just your money. You can spend it like that. You can spend it. The only thing for me is that if it gets to a point where I think as a partner, you kind of you're spending 24/7 with someone, not 24/7, but a lot of time with someone, and seeing certain things. And I think if you see like a spending habit with impact that goes beyond just spending the money, so it's like, okay, you bought something, but why did you buy this thing, or like, what's like behind this, and you think that something could be an issue or so, I think you have a responsibility to vocalize that. I think responsibility, as with anything, if you see, you know what, like this, you're doing this thing, like what's going on, like da 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 da. I think responsibility to vocalize that with anything. But beyond that, no. I think it becomes a poor spending habit when it cuts into those base things and they can't pay those base things. That's when it's like, okay, what's going on? But beyond that, get your life. Do what you need to do.
So this has been our Married Life podcast.
Episode 5, finances. Y'all take care. Y'all be safe. Yeah. Get your money up. Get your money up. Yeah.
I'm not allowed to say that.
Get your money up. Big money energy.
They are.
Every day when I wake up trying to see your face, it could only have been you.